Today, we're going to install and test an $80 synthetic winch rope from Amazon. The guys at Bud Built let us use their shop for the install, and then we went out into the rain to get the Tacoma stuck to put this rope to the test. What's up, everybody? Spartan Overland here again. Jesse.
I'm Casey.
And today, we're going to remove a steel winch cable and install this Ucreative synthetic winch rope from Amazon. The first step is to remove the current steel cable and roller Fairlead, which needs to be replaced with a hawse Fairlead.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's your only resort.
Well, that's not a regular control.
All right, now we're gonna wet this rag, and we're gonna have to reach around the backside here and wipe down the barrel while you turn it.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Now to attach the new synthetic rope. Unfortunately, we spent more time than we'd like to admit doing this the hard way.
So after pulling with this thing for an hour, we've decided it's easier to unbolt the winch, pull it up just enough so we can get our hands in there and not have to bust all our knuckles off.
So just gonna take this filler plate, and then I can get to the other bolts, and then we can just lift the winch up instead of messing around with your bumper.
You can pull that in afterwards.
What?
After you've already lifted.
Well, we were getting ready to coil it up and it fell off. The bolt that we had is not holding. We may have to source a new one. Now I'm ready to just go home and cry. Alrighty. Can you see or? Oh, I can see it.
Action point. I want to know if it was thicker than this.
It's thinner. On the steel line? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little thinner.
Yeah, it might be a problem.
All right, so we've got the line installed. The next step is to spool it up. We have to make sure we get the first 7 or 8 wraps around the barrel nice and tight. And we're gonna take it outside to wind it the rest of the way up before we go get the truck stuck. Hopefully this winch holds it up.
Oh. If I plug this in?
Yeah,
it works 17% better. Let's put the grill back on.
No.
No.
The Tacoma's the same way.
We had all this rope out. Why did you have rope out? I was trying to
You feel a bit like old boy from Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Stop. Wait.
Hola, yeah, let's not do that anymore. Since it's about to be winter time, it's all going to be snowed over and I like it. It definitely was safer here without having the line dampener. Obviously color matches the car, so you know that's many Overland points. And once we got our issues hammered out, the install wasn't terrible. It just was smarter than we were for a little bit.
All right, back at the shop now. We were kind of pressed for time. The storm was coming in. Casey and I both had places to be. So we had to wrap everything up out there in the field, do our recovery, and then now here in my home, we're going to do the recap. So I printed out a little cheat sheet to give you guys the basic stats of that rope. It's a Ucreative 95-foot, 3/8 inch thick synthetic winch rope. It was in blue, as you could tell. They claim a breaking strength of 20,500 pounds. It's $79.99 on Amazon. So initially, we were kind of skeptical, never heard of this brand. Casey and I, both of us, haven't really used synthetic line before. We've always used steel cable. I'm not going to get into the pros and cons of steel cable versus synthetic. Do that research on your own and come to your own decision. Typically, when doing recoveries, my truck is one of the heavier options that we end up winching, being a double cab long bed. So we figured, what better way to test this than to winch out my truck. The install went pretty straightforward. The mounting we mounted it to an older worn winch. Luckily for us, it was the appropriate mounting style. Sometimes I've read you'll have to cut that winch, that synthetic line, and melt it and feed it through the barrel. Luckily we didn't have to do that. One difficulty we had is the flange for this line is thicker than the worn line, which typically is a good thing, but for us it meant that the screw that worn uses was not quite long enough, which is why we had to source a different screw. When it came to execution, the line performed well. As you saw, it pulled my truck up all the way up that hill in the rain without any problem. In the end, we've decided we'll probably end up adding this particular line to all of the vehicles in our group that are equipped with winches. Pros and cons, it's a strong, obviously, it's lightweight, lighter than the steel cable. It doesn't require the same maintenance as a steel cable. That doesn't mean it doesn't require maintenance, because it does, but it's a different kind of maintenance. It's much safer than steel cables. It's affordable. As far as cons go, it's not a lot. The hook is a bit smaller than we would prefer. We'll probably end up replacing the hook with a larger one. And then for some people, the color. You know, there's a lot of, especially in the Jeep communities, but also sometimes in the Toyota groups, you'll see color matching is a big deal for some. So if they don't offer it in the right color combos, that could be a turn off for some people. Luckily for us, Casey and I both have blue trucks, So, you know, as Casey said, that's extra Overland points for us. Overall, I'd say we give it probably a 4 out of 5. Maybe in the future we'll come up with some witty, creative ranking system, but for now, it's just it. 4 out of 5 Scottles, maybe? I don't know. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks.